So when someone comes and says that they have a productivity problem, that's
Mhm.
typically, I would say, a better place to be in terms of going and consulting, because the client already knows that they have a problem, right?
Mhm.
Uh, did they have metrics to show that productivity is dropping over a period of time?
Uh, no, I think that is a long shot. Like only very few people would know that. So that is the root cause, right? Productivity is the root cause. The
Correct.
only problem that most of the owners might know is they are feeling pressure for the cash. Their cash is not rotating so much, and then they
Correct.
don't have that surplus cash. They are not able to spend. They are not able to pay their vendors on time. So
Okay.
this is when they understand that the financial situation of the company is not very healthy.
Okay.
So some people are smart enough to understand where there is a problem, and then they might look for a solution in a specific place. But then generally it is up to us to understand like where in the organization there is a problem.
Okay.
Sometimes it so happens that the client comes up saying that my production is a problem. Then we understand that production is actually not a problem, but there isn't enough sales, because of which there is no pressure on manufacturing to improve their operations.
Okay. Got it. So the baseline, you essentially take what, 2 to 3 weeks to establish the problem statement and set a baseline.
So generally, it doesn't start off directly as a project. So there is a small phase called due diligence that we do for organizations,
Okay.
and then in the due diligence phase, we just try to study the organization in terms of like what are the systems, what are the processes, how well trained are the employees, what kind of communication or information do they have in terms of the company's whole targets, goals, and all of these things. So
Right.
when there is disconnect at every level, so
Okay.
that is something that opens our eyes in terms of how organization, like where the gap is, right? So balanced scorecard is a very good framework, which
Right.
we can discuss
Right.
later, which also helps us analyze like where there is a problem, and then which is also a tool to help us fix these problems,
Okay.
right? So we do a small due diligence for a week or so, and then we try to say, boss, this is the study that we have done. So these are the gaps that we have identified, and then these gaps, when filled, ideally would give you a improvement in terms of so many numbers, right? So we try to quantify it and show, so that they get a clear picture in terms of like what is the scope for improvement, right? The metrics can be in terms of revenue or in terms of improvement in productivity, or in cost reduction in manpower, resources, utilities, all of these things, right? So as far as possible, we try to show them in numbers, so that the management is convinced in terms of what is the scope for improvement.
Right.
So that actually lays your foundation stone for actually getting into a project.